Today I'm going to be talking about making property videos with your phone. Now, going into this, I already know that this is going to be possibly a somewhat controversial video. There's some people out there who would really argue that this type of video would actually damage the industry, but I completely disagree. Reason being is I actually believe this is not only going to strengthen the industry by making it more of a standard practice to use video for listings, but it's also going to add a significant amount of value to our clients, and it's eventually going to lead to more video work. In my opinion, video is becoming a necessity for your clients to stay competitive. Video gets more organic reach, especially on Facebook. It gets more engagement. It's typically more of a shareable type of content versus how photos really aren't as shareable. Now, a lot of you are already doing video, and a lot of you aren't touching it for various reasons. Either way, here's some of the challenges that you might be facing. If you're someone who doesn't use video, it might be because the equipment's expensive or because you're not comfortable with video in general. It might also be because you only want to be doing photography and video is just simply not something you're interested. If you are currently doing video, maybe you're struggling with getting your clients to pay for it or use it correctly in their marketing. Maybe you find the process to be cumbersome and you'd really like to simplify it a little bit. By the end of this video, I'm hoping to show you how you're going to be able to resolve at least some of those problems just by using your phone to make property videos. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying that using your phone by any means is a replacement for using a regular photography rig. The reason I think that mobile video is worth considering is because maybe not all of your clients are in a position to pay for a regular property video and they need a more economical option. For them, this is a great solution. And again, maybe you're someone who just hasn't gotten into video. This is a great, easy, simple, affordable stepping stone to get into that world. All right, so now I'm going to actually take you on location and walk you through how I use my phone to make a property video. If you're interested in the tools that I'm using, check out the links in the description. And after that, I'll come back and I'll wrap it all up with how I sell it and all that other stuff. All right, so I'm gonna show you basically my setup, from setup to tear down, how I do a mobile video. So I have a normal case that I use on my iPhone. I'm gonna switch this out to the moment case. Now, with moment lenses, you need a moment case to put a moment lens on there. I keep my Movi in the back of my backpack. It's probably not the most protective way to carry your equipment. Hey dog, this is the owner's dog. I have no idea what the name is. But this is the Movi. I'll explain a little bit on what that is in a second. I'm gonna start with just adding the moment on there. So this is the moment case. You put this on your phone, it just snaps right on. It's pretty easy. And it's got this back here, you can attach your moment lenses to these holes here. Now I'll explain that in a minute. I'm gonna set this aside for a second and I'll show you how the Movi works. Okay. So this is the Movi. Again, you guys can see in the description, there's links to all these products, so if you want to check them out. This is the Movi. It's essentially just for smartphones. Now, I'll explain a little bit. Now, I'm using the iPhone XS or 10X Max or whatever. So it's a super big phone, and you need to get this additional weight, this balancing mechanism, in order to be able to hold your iPhone with moment lenses here. So the best part about this is how easy it is to set up. All you have to do is pinch the Movi in the back here, slap your phone in there and let go, and it's all set up. That's all you have to do. Some of you have used the DJIs. You have to actually do all this screwing and unscrewing and tightening. This is simple. You just pinch it and you set it up. Now, from there you add on your moment lenses. Now, I have two different moment lenses that I use. I have an 18mm and I have a 58mm. And I'll show you why I use both of these for real estate videos when I get to them. But for now, we're gonna start with the 18mm because that's how I'm gonna do the walkthrough and all the room shots. All you do is you simply screw the moment lens to the back of your phone inside one of the holes. It's got a little guide marker there. Twist it and you're on. And you can take the lens cap off and you're good to go. Now you wanna make sure that it's balanced. Right now it's not balanced. Now it's really easy to balance now I've obviously pre-balanced these things, so it's pretty much set where it needs to be. But for the most part, you just have to make some minor adjustments, and that's usually by just kind of moving these up or down. And it doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be relatively balanced so that way your motors aren't working too hard. Okay, so all you do when you're ready is you literally just press the button for a second and it's ready. Now we just walk around and we do the video. There's a few different buttons here. I'll go over this in detail later on how to set up the Movi app. But I use the Movi app. You can also use Filmic Pro, which is another app for filmmaking where you can get more of a flattened profile. You can also use the Moment app, which will also give you the ability to record with a more flattened profile. The only difference is with the Movi app, you can use the controls on the Movi, which actually really comes in handy. You can also use the different modes within the Movi app that come in handy as well. So the main thing, these are the settings that I normally keep it at. Medium, I keep a relatively wide window. I keep my tilt and roll usually unlocked, depending on what kind of shot that I'm doing. I usually shoot at 24 frames per second. I know a lot of you shoot at 60 frames per second. It's a whole other conversation, but I like the look of 24 frames per second better. Just gives it a more cinematic look, and of course I always shoot at 4K. Now, what I typically do for a walkthrough video, so the nice thing about the Movi app is you can use these triggers to start recording and stop recording. You also have a lot of different modes that you can dial in for the Movi to make your movements a little better depending on what it is you want to shoot. I tend to shoot pretty straightforward when it comes to a property video, and that's what we're going to do today. So normally I would start at the front of the house and I would walk through, but we have a closet door situation over here that we can't really fix right now. So I'm going to film that last once I can get a hold of the homeowners and figure out how to shut the closet door. In the meantime, I'm going to get the rest of the house and show you how I normally do those things. The nice thing about the Movi is the way it's built ergonomically. Now, it's meant to be held. You can hold it with one hand just like this. But the nice part is you can use this grip that's ergonomically designed for you to be able to have two hands on it. I know it kind of looks weird, but once you actually feel it, you can see why it's designed this way. It fits really nicely in your hand. And the motor in it is really responsive. It works really well. You can program the tension and the speed in which this thing responds to your wrist. Right now I have it set the way I like it, but again, I'll go over this maybe in another video on how you can set this up. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and start doing this walkthrough and I'll kind of show you how I do it. So, let's see here. This is me just filming like we're gonna be going up the stairs to show that there's an upstairs here. You can do this a couple different ways. You can record one continuous clip or you can record a whole bunch of multiple clips. I tend to do individual clips because it's just easier to edit in post-production when you're doing any kind of color correction. So that way you can also make adjustments between rooms. So I shoot individual clips, but the nice part is I can start recording and stop recording just by hitting this button. All right, so now we're gonna film the master. And as you can see on my screen, it's a little overexposed, so I can kind of bring the exposure down slightly so that the window is not entirely blown out, and then I can lock that exposure in. And then I can just do kind of a little slide in to the room. And there's my master bedroom clip. Let's see here. Okay. Now there's no real rule as to how high you should hold it. I tend to like it at about this level, which makes it kind of awkward to see because you can't really see the screen. So you either have to like bend back like this or look down in a weird way. But now the Movi, you can control it to where you'll lock the tilt and roll so that it doesn't go that way or this way. But I like to keep mine open because it just gives me a little bit more flexibility. If I'm doing a panning or a sliding shot like this, I tend to keep it locked so that it doesn't have a lot of wobble. One of the things I try to do in videos is as a reveal. So if there's a wall that I can kind of come around and slowly reveal what the room next to it looks like, it just makes for a really cinematic look. It's not required, it's just one of the things that I tend to do when I make videos. So kind of start like a third past the wall, and I'll get my Movi ready to start. So I'm gonna start literally turning my wrist now. That way by the time I get to where I need to be, it's already, the Movi itself has kind of met me there. So the nice thing is with the Movi, I can review that last clip just by hitting this button. It'll go to it and it'll automatically play it for me. So I can just review the clip that I just did, make sure I like it, close it up if I like it, and I'm done. Now I can just continue. And now we're gonna go downstairs. And again, I'm gonna kind of show that we have a downstairs option here. Okay. Now, you can do walking shots too, obviously. So, I'm gonna maybe start like this, and as I come down the stairs, start to pan it up. So by the time I get to the bottom, it evens itself out. And maybe I'll do a couple of these. All right, so now that you've seen the process and the result, I want to talk briefly about how I sell the mobile videos. If you watched my previous video on pricing, you know that I believe you should only sell things that you believe in and things that you think are gonna actually benefit your client. I'd actually argue that this is definitely something that's a great investment for your clients, especially if they're not already using video. Now, again, if your client uses video already for their listing, it's going to get more eyeballs on it. It's guaranteed. No questions asked. It's really a no-brainer, low-cost solution. Now, for mobile video, I keep them limited to 1 minute because they're intended to be an entry-level video. If a client wants a longer video, they can upgrade to a standard cinematic video that I offer where I'm actually using a rig and my professional camera to make. It's obviously a much higher quality, better color, and of course, you guys, mobile video is not a substitute, and I'm also not giving them away. These videos are incredibly valuable. I sell these videos at $75 less than a regular standard walkthrough video. And again, I keep them limited to 1 minute, so you're not gonna see a lot of details or multiple shots of some of the rooms. It's just a simple video to show the layout of a home. And another benefit is that every video that I shoot, I actually automatically post it to Zillow on behalf of the agent, which helps get them more traction. Here's some results. What I've noticed since offering mobile video is that 1/3 of my listings that I photographed this year have also ordered a video, and more than half of those video orders have been mobile videos, and they've been from people who really haven't utilized video before in the past. In regards to the tools that I use, I've owned and I've used other mobile stabilizers, and the Movi is hands down the best one I've used for every reason you can think of. It's a little more expensive, but it's worth it. You can order one, again, by clicking on the links below. In fact, I've included a list of my entire video kit below. You guys, just order it, try it out for a few days. If you don't like it, you can return it. There's really no downside to it. Order it, try it, it's worth it. It could change your business. Video's a low cost, no-brainer option for every single listing, and I hope that this video has helped to shed a little bit of light on the subject, and at the very least has you thinking about it. Let me know if you have any questions on the subject. Please subscribe to this channel and help keep me going. See you next week with a brand new episode.